Hello, friend. Hello, Iona. I hope I said your name right. Thank you for your message. I won't read it. I could. It's really flattering. I appreciate it. It's very nice. I hope I can live up to the impression that you seem to have of me. You know, I guess that if there's anything genuine about me, it just comes from having all the excess stuff kind of swept away by by, by by life, and mostly by I wouldn't call them misfortunes or misadventures, but just the stuff that hasn't turned out the way I wanted in life has a way of doing one of two things. It seems they're sweeping away the excess, the inflated sense of, because we all begin with an inflated sense of something, of a lot of things. It's like that one line from that Run Rush song. I think it's, what is it? War Paint? Something? No, not War Paint. It's a Rush song, and they talk about young people stepping out of the schoolyard. You know, young. I can't. The words are all failing me, but I'll have to just paraphrase it. It gives the image of a young man stepping off of the schoolyard. You know, with a sense of great entitlement and pride in his mere prowess at being young, full of potential, and expecting the world's applause. That's part of the line. Awaiting the world's applause. And I think that for the most part, whether we express that or not, isn't this great? I love this. I mentioned these roots there. Whether we express that or not at a young age, we all pretty much do that. Some of us actually actively look for it and seek out the acclaim. Others just kind of tacitly hope for it. I guess there's some that really don't seek it out per se. Maybe a lot of them in Japan. I don't think my wife does. I don't think my wife's ever been one to look for that. She just wanted to live a good life, live a happy life, make a family, and live in peace. So I may be exaggerating to a greater or lesser degree. But people like me, at least, who did do that. I definitely did. I did. As a young man, I expected life to be special. I expected me to turn out. It's hard to say this because it sounds awkward, but I expected my path to, have that certain something to it. And for the first few decades, it was an effort that yielded nothing. And for the most part, I guess if there's anything that I have now, it's peace. I do have that. Whoa. Except when I fret about monies and stuff. My wife and I like to call money monies. When I fret about monies, the peace kind of tends to leave me. So I still struggle with that. I fret a bit. Look at this giant fungus. I still fret and struggle over security because I have people that are depending on me. And goody, there's something in this one. This is a chestnut, and there's a beetle inside. Whoa, there's one flying out. All kinds of chestnuts up here too. That's a spider web. I do worry about those things. Well, I guess that's natural. I guess I would be less responsible than I need to be if I didn't over those things. But I think you see what I mean. I think I'm doing an okay job of expressing it. Some of us start off early in life expecting something special, and one of two things can happen, or three things can happen, or two things in two flavors of one. Two things could be, one, actually happens. And some people actually do become Miley Cyrus. And all their worldly ambitions and dreams are realized from a young age. But to those whom that doesn't happen, that have an inclination towards that, they either, life gives them a more humble reality, or doesn't give them. Life turns out to be a circumstance of normal reality. And they can either be crushed in a way that nothing special ever happened, that they never won the jackpot at the slot machine of life, and ding, 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 the lights come off, and the attention and the glamour and the wealth, or whatever comes, whatever flavor you're after. Some people get crushed by that, and their spirit is lost. Some people never recover that. And then there's others to whom that happens, and they're left, they come out the other side kind of, I'm struggling not to use the word cleansed or washed clean, but I think that kind of does capture the sense. You kind of like have that, you have this, you start off young with a spirit and an energy and a desire to be something special, and it doesn't happen. Instead, life shows you reality, the hard reality. Isn't this nice? Look at these stack stones. The hard reality of living, the reality of failure, and the limitations in your own failings and limited capacities. And what happens is you're kind of cleansed of the sense of entitlement, cleansed of the wish for fortuitous notoriety, us becoming someone special through chance, or just because you happen to be the strongest, fastest, swiftest, smartest, and your talents got recognized. You can cleanse to that, wash that away. And see, there's like this. How these ants have kind of, they're clearing this away. This is something dead, a cricket, I think. They're cleaning it away. And I don't know why they make these piles up here, but they've created a little monument of ruin. And slowly the cricket is being... maybe that's not a good analogy. But a monument of ruin. I like that. Let's take away that from the cricket pile. Dead cricket pile there. A monument of ruin. And the monument, because I didn't like that, because it went into the fact that the cricket's dead and there's nothing left. But if you can survive your own ruin with your sense of optimism, joy for life, and enthusiasm, a lot of these youthful qualities, and mainly your curiosity and willingness to smile at another day and move forward, though whatever good stuff came your way through the course of things may have been passed. Just yesterday, my wife and I were watching. We found, speaking of wanting to get attention, bet that person. My wife and me, we're cleaning up our lives here, ready, hopefully, to move back to the States. And we were looking through old videos that we had of our old life. There was a point in my life when I was when I was wealthy and had a lot. And I was looking at we were looking at our video of our home. My wife had gone through the house and speaking Japanese. She'd made a video to share our home with her family here in Japan. So she was from the outside, showing everything, and she went inside, showed all the rooms and all the furniture, and then outside we had our pool. We had a 1-acre lot near the coast in California. It was, for a middle class boy growing up in the world, it was, I had arrived. That was as high as I was ever going to get. I had everything. I had a house. We even showed up with the cars. Brand new cars in the driveway, a big motorcycle in the driveway. All the furniture was new. We had everything. We had everything we could imagine. Most of it was paid for. All that stuff was swept away. Mini bike. All that stuff was just swept away by my own folly, not my wife's. Well, I guess by being somewhat quiet in the whole affair, I guess she takes a measure of the responsibility as well. But it was mostly me. we had everything. Our life was set, and I largely through short-sightedness. It's just the world is just full. See all these people drawing attention to themselves. And those guys. This is a raceway. These guys come up here on their motorcycles and they go up and down. And this provides an. I'm kind of diverging off to another anecdote. They crash on this thing a lot. These motorcyclists, they come up and down this road, and there's a lot of accidents, a lot of deaths too, unfortunately. And that kind of illustrates the point too. I mean, they come up here with flashy, loud motorcycles with all the gear, bright gear, and they're racing along, but partly to draw attention to themselves, mainly to draw their own attention to themselves. To become spectators on their own antics and their own stimulating life endeavors, and some of them won't survive, and some of them will be injured. A lot of them will lose their toys along the way, and so what will happen to them is some of them will die in the process. Some of them their spirits will be crushed, and they will give up. They will give up pushing their envelope in life, and others will simply, stand up, recover from their injuries, maybe after they get out of the hospital, and they'll brush themselves off and say, "No, wasn't that my mind? Wasn't that stupid? Wasn't I a fool? If I lost my $15,000 motorcycle, and I perhaps lost my physical health. I'm going to be walking with a gimp for the rest of my life because of my folly." But you know what? I'm going to move on from that. It's an old lesson, right? Live and learn, right? And go on from that, and maybe take up maybe take up astronomy, something that's not likely to kill me, and stare at the stars in the middle of the night. You get the point, right? And that's what happened with me when in the course of my life, when I had everything, and I lost all of that. And the thing was that it didn't kill me, and it didn't destroy me. It didn't cause me to give up in life. It just caused me to it really hurt going through it. I mean, really, really hurt going through it. That was going through a narrow slot, passing through a desert waste with only a half canteen of water. But when I got through the other side, I still had my optimism. It took a little while to kindle it. It's like the second time in 2 weeks I've got to do that on a video. Kindling the embers a little bit to try and spark it back up, bring it back to life. But it maintained intact with the spider webs around me. And here I am. I haven't got as much. I haven't got much anything at all. In fact, I'm still working to get back to level 0. But I'm still smiling and happy, and I guess that's what you're alluding to in coming back to the original email, which I didn't read because it was far too flattering for me to share. But the original point that you're seeing, whatever you might see in me, that caused you to say that was not necessarily something that came of its own merit. It wouldn't. I couldn't say that this was the type of person I was. If I'm anything, I can definitely say that the person I am now was not the person I was at 18, stepping off the high school campus, waiting for the world's applause. The person I am now isn't. And I don't think I'm being humble in saying this. I'm not looking for any applause of any sort. I make these videos because it's fun, and that I'm at peace now because of something that was scrubbed away, and is no longer. It's like not carrying a burden. Yeah, that's a good analogy. It's like not carrying a burden anymore. It's like before. Here comes another one. That's just a regular car. Oh, that's right, that's a drifter. See? Dangerous stuff. Looking to lose a lot. Okay, so here's the thing. That's a good analogy. It's used that. I before was someone who was carrying a heavy burden around with me. And that burden has, a flash flood came along and tumbled me down the stream, and whatever pack I was carrying full of stuff that really wasn't that essential to me anyway, was washed away through the act of adventure, through the act of life adventure and endeavor and the attempting to get on with things. That was washed away, and I'm not carrying it anymore. And I found out I can get along without it. Like I said, almost at zero, working to build things back up, but I'm going to build things back up in a different way now. I won't be building that pack up again. I won't be provisioning myself with ego and superfluous ego. And although it's sometimes hard to know where the line is, ego and superfluous ego, because a little bit of ego is okay, But I don't want to provision myself with superfluous ego or unnecessary ambition, because you can't go too far. You can't be too ambitious and get beyond the point of necessity or of comfort, creature comfort, and become to a point where you're burdened again. Now I'm moving into throw territory there, aren't I? I'm burdened with laden with the excess of butterflies. Yeah. I've given up being burdened with the provisions of the life that I once wanted to live, and now I'd rather be burdened with the excess of butterflies, which bear no weight upon my shoulder, yet give me something deep and rich. So thanks, my friend. Spiders on the hunt. So we.